Greetings, brothers and sisters. This is your brother King Simon on broadcasting on the Ministry of Numerovation and King Simon presents KSP TV. Not going to be long, but I believe this was very important for me to do because I was one of the brothers that brought in the great elder and now ancestor Dr. Runoko Rashidi. His last appearance, really, I think in New York, in Brooklyn, New York, was with me in 2018 at St. Francis College. So right now, I'm just doing a brief raised to ancestral status salute to Dr. Runoko Rashidi. May he rest in eternal power for all of the great work that he's done. And you can actually view some of the lecture that I did with him here in New York on this channel, King Simon Presents or KSP TV. You know, Baba Rashidi' birthday was coming up August the 16th, and the last interview he did was on Hoppy. So enough respect to Brother Taki Grant, uh, Felicia Harden, and the late great Dr. Runoko Rashidi, who just transitioned earlier today on August the 2nd. And like I said, his birthday was coming up on August the 16th. And it's interesting to me because I put his birthday in the live chat on Happy. And a lot of people didn't know his birthday was August the 16th. But you know, I'm a person that asks those questions when I connect with elders in any capacity. I always want to know their birthday because I'm a numerovationalist. I study numerology and have my own system. So, you know, as many may know, is that myself and people like Lloyd Strayhorn always speak about the critical cycle. It's either a critical cleansing cycle or it's a critical cycle to be very mindful of your health, very mindful of your conversation with other people, very mindful of how you handle elders during the critical cycle, especially before their birthday. Many of elders have transitioned, many things that can go wrong on another level happens in the critical cycle. That's why it's called a critical cycle. And if you read my book or you read Lloyd's book, especially my book on numerovation for mental stability and Lloyd's book on numbers and you, we talk about the cycles that the Rashicrucian cycles of numbers, and they have these various cycles, 7 cycles that run throughout your year. And the 7th cycle is known as the critical cycle. I kind of remixed it in my system and call it the critical cleansing cycle. So Baba Rashidi, may he rest in power, Dr. Runoko Rashidi, born, I believe, 1954, but also born August the 16th. So he would have been celebrating, I believe, his I think 64th birthday, I believe, you know, as, but, you know, it's really interesting to have been around these elders and see what these elders are doing. And Baba Rashidi was one of those people that traveled the world to reveal to us the African presence of who we are in every aspect of life and every part of this earth, from Germany to China to Japan, and he's visited many, many, many countries, as he's stated many times, you know, and the brother did his work. He did his work and was doing this work from the heart, doing this work from from love for the love of our people, you know. I remember when I did this gathering of the elders gathering with him, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, and Professor James Smalls. And he was very gracious, very respectful, because he recognized that these guys were his elders. These two other figures, these two juggernauts, Professor Smalls and Dr. Jeffries, were his elders. And he always reiterated that to me and said that he was honored to be in the midst of those elders because those two was his teachers also. So, and this is a post that he posted up. What you're seeing now on the page, this is a post that he posted on the day after the event, November the 12th, because we did the event November the 11th, 2018. And he said, yesterday in Brooklyn at an elders gathering with Leonard Jeffries and Professor Smalls, or James Smalls, I guess that I am officially an elder now, jokingly saying that. That's what Baba Runoko Rashidi. But if you can read what he said in this particular post, it's kind of, I'm actually broadcasting from my phone, so I can't read it, but he actually congratulated me and thanked me for bringing all of them together at St. Francis College in downtown Brooklyn, off of Court Street, and how receptive people were. Very full house, and the people was receptive to the information he provided, um, and it was a presentation, wonderful presentation by the elders. I believe Professor Smalls went up first, Runoko Rashidi went up second, and Professor Jeffries, being the elder, came in after. And, one thing about the great one, Professor Rashidi, he was very meticulous about what he did and how he did things. And you have to respect that from the elder. Very meticulous about how he did it, and how he presented his material. And some of the material he had to take with small cameras, and we have to give it to these elders. These elders, brothers and sisters, the elders of the past had to do some miraculous stuff to get the information to our people. You know, they had to do some great miraculous stuff to get this information to our people, you know, and it wasn't easy. It was not easy at all. Wasn't easy at all. Some of these guys had to be like secret agents to get into these places and pay off people to get into these edifices and museums, and because certain museums won't let you take pictures or snap any shots or do any video. There was a time when Dr. Ivan Van Sertima said he had to sneak cameras or sneak a camera in, had to pay a pay pay for a. I was listening to a lecture of his, and he said he had to pay a janitor or somebody to get the camera in so he could take the pictures of these stuff. And people like Sheikh Anta Diop, the late great Sheikh Anta Diop, and all these great elders that really, really put in the fight to get informations and visual pictures of the greatness of our people. You know, so Runoko Rashidi was an understudy of Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. He learned a lot from Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, you know, and Dr. Ivan Van Sertima gave him a blueprint to move on. And before Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, Sheikh Anta Diop gave him the blueprint to move on. In order to do serious field research, you got to do field research, not just YouTube and Google and all that. Sometimes you got to do field research as historians and archaeologists and anthropologists and those type of. You have to study those fields, and beyond a shadow of a doubt, Dr. Runoko Rashidi took it beyond other levels where he has thousands and thousands of photos, not just from museums, but from actual sites to bring back to our people. He had to infiltrate and go behind enemy lines at certain times. Him, Ivan Van Sertima, Shekanta Diop, and various others, Chancellor Williams, and all these great brothers and sisters out there that did some very profound work to get this information to us. Ivan Van Sertima, he's born January the 26th, Aquarian energy. Sheikh Anta Diop, believe he's born, I believe he's born either December 22nd or December 29th. I know it's one of those dates. I just can't look up online and find it, but I know it's between either December 22nd or December. Chancellor Williams, okay, I think Chancellor Williams is born December 22nd, and Sheikh Anta Diop is born 29th of December. But again, these energies of research and digging deep and looking for and being of guidance is there. And Baba Runoko Rashidi is born August the 16th. And like I said, in numerology, he would be in his critical cycle. And I tell everybody, pay attention to your family, your elders during the critical cycle. Not only is the critical cycle a cycle that you should look out for your elders and pay attention to them, but also the critical cycle is one of those cycles that you need to at least get some information to from your elders. Consult your elders, talk to your elders. So I'm so happy, but yet I'm sad in a certain sense. That's why I'm even doing this tonight, because I couldn't sleep. I rested most of the afternoon after I did my session at 3 o'clock, and something came upon me to just go into a deep sleep. And in my deep sleep, people was reaching out to me, people was texting me, and people was trying to call me to find out if this was true. Did Dr. Runoko Rashidi really pass on? And then I had to call some people. I spoke to Professor Smalls. I spoke to Felicia. Someone texted me this particular rest in peace, Dr. Runoko Rashidi, and said under there that what they text me and said, is this true? And I don't like to go out and not know exactly what's going on. So I had to call around, and sure enough, I called Felicia first, Felicia Harden from Hoppy, and then I called Professor James Small. And I said condolences to him, and he said condolences to me, because he know my relationship with the Baba as far as bringing him in and showing him love. And that's what my job is as a promoter and a producer. So, you know, Baba Runoko is going to be remembered profoundly for the art work that he provided through his pictures, and then the stories he told behind it, looking for the melanated existence in every corner of the earth. And we have to give honor to that. You have to give honor to that. He is now an ancestor. He is now an ancestor. Also heard it when Brother Reggie called in on Sonetta TV, while Sonetta was interviewing Lamont Hill, who also is, well studied and knew who sent his condolences, and big up to Dr. Reggie also for even calling in on Sonetta to let people know. And I understand, sometimes things are done quickly because Brother Jabari happens to be out there in Kemet right now. And on his way to Kemet, Baba Rashidi has a heart attack. And what's so interesting, he in the interview that he was a part of to help like interview Taki Grant because of his travels. Runoko Rashidi in his last interview with Hoppy was just trying to ask him some key questions, and so to me it looked like it was something profound happening because Taki is very profound in his study and his research and his travel and taking pictures of wherever he went. And what's so interesting between the two, Taki Grant and Baba Dr. Runoko Rashidi, is that Taki is born February 7th, which is that number seven energy of research and digging deep and not taking nothing on face value. And Baba Runoko Rashidi is born August the 16th. 1 plus 6 equals 7. Another same number, same energy. It's just that the 16 deals with creativity, the need for love and balance. And then it leads to the number 7. One is creativity and assertiveness. Six needs with balance and love and family, but also, and it's an educational number, number 6. And then 1 plus 6 equals 7. And 7 deals with research, digging deep, introspection. So the power of that interview with Dr. Runoko Rashidi asking pointed questions to Taki with Felicia Harden, who was born August the 27th. You know, it was to me it was like a baton being passed. And he said he hasn't been out since COVID. He wasn't out. He hasn't been out since that time, since everything went down. So he was kind of reluctant about traveling to Kemet. And I think when a number 7 holds things in their minds, they have to also think about if he was reluctant, that means that was the first energy that should have kept him right home, let him relax as an elder and stay home. Because anytime 7 holds certain things in their head, and I'm saying 7 because Dr. Rashidi is born on the 16th of August, and if he said it on the interview that he was reluctant to go because he's been at home and all that. I seen him say it in the interview. So that's interesting that when he actually flies out to do this tour with, I guess, 15 people, I guess he had on his tour, he gets to Kemet and then transition again in his critical cycle, of which I call in my system of numerovation the critical cleansing cycle. And sometimes in this critical cleansing cycle before your birthday, anytime before you reach in your birthday, there's a 52 critical cycle that you should pay attention to your health. Yes. Pay attention to how you speak to people because you don't want to get into any confrontation and arguments. Also, it's good with finishing and completing certain things, endings of certain things. If you're into something and you have to finish it, complete it before your birthday. That 52 critical cycles is when you have that critical breakdown of certain things that has to be done, finished before you move on to the next level. So Dr. Runoko was in his critical cycle. But I always express that when you're an elder in a critical cycle, it's very important that the family pay close attention to the elder's health during the critical cycle. And Baba Runoko Rashidi was in his critical cycle, you know, before his birthday. Critical cycle can be positive and negative, or high and low, depending on your health status before your birthday, depending on how you carrying yourself before your birthday. So these cycles are there to be used, to pay attention to, and to learn from. And those that don't know, Baba Runoko just transitioned recently, August the 2nd, in Kemet. So he actually transitioned in what he loved to do is take people and show them what's going on in their history through whether he went to Kemet, whether he went to Ethiopia, whether he went to, he said he'd been to numerous countries and places to share this wisdom, to share this wisdom. I want to thank everybody so far that's on. Please share. Share. I'm not going to be on long. I just had to come on and say something about this brother because this brother meant a lot to our community as a visual historian. This brother meant a lot to our community as a visual historian. Let me say it one more time. He meant a lot to our community as a visual historian. He didn't believe in Google to Google up a picture and to go look in books for pictures only. He took you there to the site, or he went to the site. And this picture that you see is the last time I had him in town. I had him in town at the gathering of the elders. And it was him, Professor Leonard Jeffries is right there in the middle. And then the right, you see Professor James Smalls. And this is an event that I did for one of my anniversary. I believe it was my 24th anniversary in promotion and production. That either no, that was the 20. That was the 20. Not the 24th. It was the 23rd. I believe that was the 23rd promotion and production anniversary of my anniversary. I got to look back because I did so many stuff. 2020 is really when I would have celebrated 25 years in this business. But 2020, I couldn't do anything in 2020 as far as events. But this is a picture of the great elders. Look how beautiful that picture is. I believe, I'm not sure if I took that picture or was it taken by a young brother, Jason's son, from ancient, what's the name? Ancient Jewelries. I forgot it. Got the ancient jewelries, but I'm trying to figure out if he took it or I took this picture. But I know that his young, Jason's son took this picture. Great picture of Baba. And he loved this picture, as a matter of fact. Let me see if I can upload. He said something about, matter of fact, I think he said something about the young man that took this picture. He just didn't know the young man's name. I think the young man who took this picture, his name is Jaden, and he's the son of Jason of Ancient Jewelries or Ancient Artifact Jewelries. But the young man took this picture, and he loved this picture so much because the young man, who was, I think was 11 or 12 years old, captured such a very candid shot. He just caught it. It's not like he didn't ask him to pose. He was just taking candid shots. The young brother was practicing, and he took this picture of Baba Spo. So I believe he took this picture also. The young brother took this picture. He was just going around taking candid shots, and his father was vending. So big up to Jaden and his father. I think his name is Jaden, and his father's name is Jason. So enough respect to them, you know. Yeah, yeah, Betty, 6X. Yeah, it's a beautiful way to do what you love and transition and doing what you love. Yes, it is. And I'm looking at the comments. Forgive me if I'm not posting them up, but I'm gonna post up some of the comments right now so people can look. Jennifer Serenity says ancestors. Yes. Jennifer Serenity also said, may he rest in peace with the ancestor. I know you misspelled. I know. Sometimes that's how it is. Big up to Betty 6X. What a beautiful way to transition doing what you love. Continue to travel, Baba. You will be missed, but not forgotten. Yes. Sullivan Walker says, rest in peace. Rest in power, Doc. Tyrone Smith says, master teacher. Sullivan Walker, King Simon, peace, King Simon. Africa, power, rest in power, Dr. Runoko Rashidi. Your spirit will always be with all Black people. Nana Akosa, his presentation will always filled with so many compelling visuals. Yes, organized noise. Rest in power, Dr. Runoko. Um, Again, everybody's showing that love. Yes, increase Ashe, increase Ashe. Oh my God. No, yeah, yes, Nikki Love 621. Thank you for showing that love also. Yes, our Baba has transitioned, and like Baba Jeffrey said on his Facebook, he says, Ogo, Ame. He says another one of our African trees has fallen. Another one of our great trees have fallen in the African forest or African village. Because they always say when an elder pass on, when an elder transition, when you transition, all your books go with you, all your libraries go with you, all your collections go with you. And that's not just the physical collections of books and stuff that he's he's galvanized over the years, but the memory, the information in his head, the information in her head. When anyone transitions, there's a library that goes with it. So we have to pay attention to our elders. Pay attention to those babas that can give you some good information. Go talk to your grandparents. Go talk to your grandmother. Go talk to your grandfather. Go talk to your grand uncle. Go get some information about your family and what it was all about. I'll talk to the cousins, the elder cousins that were there, probably in the '60s and the '70s, in the in the or in the '50s. My mother born on the in '30s, so my father is around in those age range. So you got to talk to them, you know. And again, rest in power to Baba Runoko Rashidi. I made his daughter. I know he used to speak about his daughter, and he told me he said that his daughter was coming around now. She's starting to acknowledge how great the information he has, what it's all about. Because one time when she said something, I think he said that on my on the interview I did with him. It was a phone interview I did with him, but it's on my YouTube channel here. And I did broadcast some of the program that we did at this event with I think I put up Professor Smalls and some of Runoko Rashidi's event. I didn't put up Professor Jeffrey's on, but when I did an interview with Dr. Runoko, he said his daughter says his daughter at that time said, "I can't wait. I'm gonna sell all this and make the money. Sell all his books." Talking about selling all his books in his archive. No, you don't do that. You got to donate it if you're not gonna keep it. And that's what I tell my own children. I tell my own children, if they're not going to keep my books and my information, donate it to a Black institution, donate it to an archivist, an archive that holds good Black books and good books so they can preserve the books if you're not able to do it. Don't throw it away. Don't just sell it. Don't do it. If you want people to have access to it. So places like Arthur Schomburg, the Schomburg Center in Harlem is good. Um, Black owned schools is good, or Black owned and operated schools or HBCU books, historical Black colleges, as long as it's run by a good staff of people that will respect the books. I think everyone should really think about if they have an archives of books, don't let people throw it away. I remember, and I'm saying this because I pray that Dr. Runoko Rashidi's daughter finds value in what needs to be done with those books. Don't just throw stuff away, you know. That's how you got to do it. That's right, Jennifer. You got to donate, man. Donate your stuff. If your children or your nephews and nieces they caught up in Google so much that they think they can just Google their life away, Google stuff away. Certain things you ain't gonna find in Google. Let's just be real. Certain things you're not gonna find in Google. Certain things, certain unabridged information. A lot of it is connotative and not denotative meanings. A lot of connotative stuff, but you're not gonna. If you find unabridged books, unabridged means that they are old books that probably haven't been tampered with or has the purity of what that was being said at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I love old books. Anytime you got old books over 1960 going into 1955 and all that kind of stuff, I love those books. Dictionaries especially, you know, and it's important because great people like Dr. Runoko Rashidi has great library. People like Amos Wilson had great library. Amos Wilson. People like Dr. Barashango, Francis Cress Wells, and Dr. Francis Cress Wells, and Queen Mother Moore. I remember going into Queen. See, y'all don't know. I know some elders. I remember going into Queen Mother Moore's apartment, and all it was is full with books and artifacts. Books and artifacts. I don't know what they did with that. I don't know where they left it. I don't know what they did with that sister stuff. Queen Mother Moore. You know what I'm saying? Queen Mother Moore. We went to do an interview. I had a television show at that time, and we was part of the press to go and interview her in Harlem because she was staying in an apartment building in Harlem. And we went upstairs. We went with our camera and all that kind of stuff. And Queen Mother Moore's room was filled with nothing but books and information. Nothing but books and information. You know. So I came on today to do this numerovational flyby, raised to ancestral status, Dr. Runoko Rashidi. People are still coming in, and of course, Miss Zone Time, May he rest in perfect power. May his family also have the strength to deal with this difficult time. Yes, Gregory Hardy, long live the spirit of our beloved ancestor Runoko Rashidi. Yes, yes, yes. And it's important. It's important. I loved his energy. I loved his energy. You know, okay, increase Ashe. I hope she donates the work as well. Dr. Rashidi told me that his daughter was perishing when he spoke on 2016. Paris got the hookup. Give much thanks for the work and his life. Yeah, like I said, I tell my children, yo, don't throw away my stuff. Don't do it. And me and my third son have been talking about setting up a library for friends and family where you can actually borrow the books and all you mail it back so the book can still be preserved. And, it's important because Baba Rashidi, like I said, represented visual art. He was a walking collection, a walking library, a walking edifice because the original temple of the creator is the body. So he was a walking visual temple of bringing our history to where it had to be and who it had to go to. That's why he kept on doing lectures, he kept on doing tours, he kept on visiting countries to find the African presence or the melanated presence or the indigenous presence in every every core area of our life that we thought was European and only Indian and only Chinese or Japanese. He went everywhere because when you start digging deep, the deeper you dig, like Dr. Phil Valentine says, the deeper you dig, the darker it gets. The deeper you dig, the darker it gets. So, again, rest in power to our dear Runoko, Dr. Runoko Rashidi, our elder, who's also, I believe he was also I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this, but I believe he was also a chief in one of the African tribes or not. I'm not sure, but he definitely deserved it if he was. Again, this was a picture that there's more pictures of what happened at this particular event in 2018, but this is what he shared on his page. These pictures are what Dr. Runoko Rashidi shared on his page. He was so he loved as you could feel he loved visual stuff, and his birthday was coming up again on August the 16th. It's coming up in a few days actually, or a couple of days, a week and a half or something. His birthday was coming up August the 16th, and I remember again asking my business partner at the time when we were doing this event to ask him his birthday, and she told me the birthday of Dr. Rashidi, and then I confirmed it when I talked to him, shouting out his birthday. But he was a silent giant. He was a person who didn't just do talking. He wanted to make it happen. He wasn't about to talk. He would pay for his way, pay for his trips to go to find and make the dig, to go see where our ancestors was, and like I said, in every part of the world. So again, you know, yes, yeah, Dr. Ben did leave his work with the Nation of Islam, not with Minister Farrakhan, with the Nation of Islam, because the Farrakhan transition, it's the nation, not with the minister, just the minister. He left it with the Nation of Islam to hold and keep his archive. So yes, Geronimo, matter of fact, I was there when it was said. I was in the nation when that was mentioned and was told that that was going to happen in the 90s. That was said. So he had already agreed with it in the late 90s to leave it with the nation. I remember that because I was there in the community. Dr. Ben wanted to. Yes, yes, he did. Dr. Ben did that. Dr. Ben did. Um, Baba Rashidi was, as you know, he had a powerful voice with a powerful presentation, and he had a story behind every picture, every visual, everything. And like I said, him. Ivan Van Sertima and the other greats had to fight to get to some of these into these museums sometimes. Had to pay people off thousands of dollars to get through certain security systems and all that kind of stuff. So we got to give our elders and commend them for the beautiful work they've done to provide the information to help us be the great people that we are in this realm, or to help remind us of how great we are. Dr. Rashidi, may you rest in eternal peace as I close out. May may the ancestors walk you through the realm of the Agugun. May the ancestors take you to where, because your work has been well documented, your work has been well sorted after, your work is now left for all of us to 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 admire, to examine, to research, and also to take it to the next level. There should be no one out there that try to disrespect Dr. Runoko Rashidi at all, because he proved from his way that he loved our people. He proved from his way, through his perspective, through his job, that he loved our people. He loved our people. He loved our people. And tears are coming to my eyes because I understand he loved our people. He loved our people. You can't, and most of the elders that has gone through this, that has gone through these rites of passage on multiple levels. These are rites of passage, and now this is another spiritual rites of passage he just made. He loved our people. Baba Runoko Rashidi loved our people without a doubt. You don't do all of this and do these type of presentations or create this type of stuff if you don't love us. You want, he came from, Baba Rashidi came from a descendant of brothers and sisters that did those field research, that dig deep, didn't take nothing on face value, wasn't accepting what the Europeans said. Ana lillahi wa inna lillahi rajum. I remember what that was meant back in the day. Man, my Arabic is not as tight as it used to be, but I remember that. I remember that saying. But I know we used to say it to a lot of the funerals in the nation, not in the nation, in the Ansarullah community in Sunni Islam. They used to say that. But if you could put the translation up there, cause I see, so I'll put that translation. But I know it means about travel with the ancestors, or travel in the spirit realm. I know, yeah, ina la leha alihi wa ina ilayhi rajun. I remember that saying. I remember. Yeah, I used to be good at my Arabic, but from Allah we came, right? Exactly. From Allah we come, and Allah, unto Allah we belong. That's right. There it is. I remember that. I remember that. So yes, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu. Yes, I remember those things. When I was in Islam strong, I was writing Arabic too. But when you stop doing certain things, you lose it. You know, they lose it. But yeah, thank you for that. I remember I had to say that for my cousin-in-law's funeral, because she was a Muslim that transitioned. I had to say that same thing to for my cousin-in-law Amala when she transitioned some years ago. You know, Alhamdulillah. David. Thank you very much. Thank you, brother, for that. I needed to see that's a great saying from an Islamic perspective. It's definitely a great saying to give, to realize that that's where we came from. The creator, the all is where we came from, and to the all, the energetic all, that is who we return to. That energy is now gone and been dispersed back into the universe, to the creative force. You know, man, whew. My brothers and sisters, I gotta get ready I guess I needed to stay up to do this because I guess it's been on my mind, and I guess when I heard it, I'm in a friend's house, and she said something, and I snapped at her for some reason about saying something over and over again to me when you don't have to. But I guess it was because I just heard about him transitioning, and I was upset because I didn't understand. We just seen him. He was just spoke. He just did an interview on Hoppy Film. So go back and see his last interview slash him being an interviewer, and of Taki, and helping Taki with his artifacts and finding out, seeing that the young men are doing their studies. So go to Hoppy Films and you will see the last presentation that Runoko Rashidi did. And it was with him, Taki Grant, and Sister Felicia. And he was telling people that he was heading to Kemet to take some people out there. So, and then that's where he transitioned. He transitioned in Kemet. As he got to Kemet, he transitioned in Kemet. Okay. I appreciate you. Just found out I'm still in shock. I understand, Jennifer. Uh, love like the sun. Thank you, Brother King Simon. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you all. Nikki Love. Thank you, King Simon. Boom. I hope you'll be able to interview someone that was on the Kemet tour with him. I will definitely be tuned in. Well, I understand, family, that uh, Brother Jabari is the one that called Brother Reggie, and Reggie called Sonetta. So Brother Jabari is out there in Kemet. Brother Jabari and his wife Anika is out there in Kemet. They was doing another tour while he was doing another tour. And he found out there that it happened in Kemet. So Baba Rashidi passed on in Kemet. And condolences to him and his family once again. And may he rise and travel with the ancestors. May the ancestors take him, because, again, as I left, he left a body of work. And I hope his beautiful daughter, I think he only had one child. I'm not sure if he had more, but I know he mentioned the daughter. I hope his daughter will spread the love, or share it with the elders, or let them archive it, or let them put it in a museum. Matter of fact, being that Tariq Nasheed is about to set up a museum, and Tariq had him on one of his one of his hidden colors. Tariq Nasheed should put his artifacts in this new museum that he's trying to set up, the History Museum, Hidden History Museum. That would be powerful, only because a lot of the stuff that Runoko Rashidi and Ivan Van Sertima and Sheikh Anta Diop, these guys had to fight and pay for the hidden artifacts in order to take pictures of them. They had to pay to get into certain museums, certain areas of certain museums or certain temples, in order, because you always had these desecrators and these money makers that wanted to control the narrative. So I hope Tariq Nasheed, and I'll probably tag him in this and send it to him, but I hope he get in contact with the daughter, and let's archive Baba Rashidi's work in that new museum that he's trying. And remember, Baba Rashidi is in L.A. That's where he's from. He lives in L.A. That's where he was grown up in L.A. That's where he's from. So it's ironic that Tariq, this is not coincidence. Tariq is setting up a hidden history museum, and one of our great historians just transitioned. It only makes common sense for him to archive the work of Baba Rashidi inside that museum. What do y'all say? What do y'all say? What do y'all say? B1, man. B1, black first. You thought the same thing? People say I thought the same thing. Yeah, one daughter. I knew he had one daughter. I knew it was a man. Yes, I think yes. I'm gonna tag him, and I'm gonna tell I'm gonna tell a few people that knows him to that knows Tariq Nasheed to that he should get in contact with that daughter. Archive his stuff. Archive Baba Runoko Rashidi stuff in that new museum, hidden history museum. That's what it's called. And who else better to archive some of this hidden history that they stole than Runoko Rashidi's work? Yeah, more one. Yeah, I understand. More one. M1. I understand. I understand. Oh man, but yeah, man, they really should. So I hope Tariq Nasheed sees this, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna tag him. I'm gonna text him and I'm gonna text Sanetta. I know Sanetta's connected to him, and I know people like Phil Valentine is connected to him, and I know you know what? I'm gonna call Baba Kaba tomorrow and tell Baba Kaba to contact because Kaba Kamene been on every Hidden Color film that Tariq has ever put out, and 1804 and Buck Breaking and all that. He's been on every one of them. So I'm gonna contact Baba Kaba. So Kaba has the best relationship, and also Kaba is born on the 16th, just like Renoka Rashidi. Kaba is born November 16th. Renoka Rashidi is born uh, August 16th. So that research, that digging deep, you can see how Kaba explains and tell his story. That he's a researcher and he does comparative researching. So does Baba Rashidi. They did comparative research. Lloyd Strayhorn is born on the 16th. He does comparative researching when it comes to numbers. You know what I'm saying? That's how you're supposed to research. So on that note, family, I'm going to close out. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in this brief broadcast. I love and respect you. Uh, he died of a heart attack. That's what he said. It was a massive heart attack. Those that are just tuning in, they said it was a massive heart attack as he went into Kemet. So, you know, what's so interesting with the numbers now, which is so interesting because he's in his critical cycle. But when you add eight, the month eight plus 16, 8 plus 16, which is a seven, and 8 and 7 is 15. And he would be in his 1 year cycle from birthday to birthday numerology, but a 2 year cycle, 11-year cycle going into 2021. And the number one deals with heart and circulation and blood. And he was heading into he was feeling the effects of a health cycle. So he was right now in a health cycle, but also the health cycle that he was coming in dealing with was also dealing with the one energy because that it added up to a certain number that deals with heart, circulation, and blood. So, even the numerology of it, the patterns, the sequences, the cycles of it showed up as when I first found out, because that's the first thing I consulted. And when he said he was not feeling kind of well at one point on the interview and, still like kind of reluctant, he was, clearing up some things. You could see him, clearing out his throat and all that stuff. I did the numbers in my head real quick. That's just me. I consult those numbers. Those numbers be dropping in my head real quick. Mm, so pay attention to your health during critical cycles. And once again, the critical cycle always starts 52 days before your birthday. So if you go to your particular birthday and count backwards 52 days, wherever it lands on the calendar, that's where the 52-day cycle starts. And it's a time to monitor health, monitor your words, monitor your connection with your elders, getting conversation, learning certain things, clearing up any contracts and finishing anything that you have to do before your birthday, knocking it all out, but also definitely paying attention to the elders in your family and paying attention to their health and also when they're in their critical cycle. All right. Family, have a great day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you'll be watching this. Once again, rest in peace, Baba Runoko Rashidi. Rest in peace, Baba Runoko Rashidi. Rest in peace, Baba Runoko Rashidi. Thank you for all you've done. Thank you for all that we've learned from the people. Thank you for all of what has been going on. Thank you for all that you've done for us. Thank you for all of that. Thank you for all of the positive things that you provided for us and all the visual work that you provided for us throughout the years. You are a great representative for our people. You have been a great representative of our people as I talk to you in the spirit realm. And I pray that we all represent your legacy the best way we can. Thank you again, Baba. And once again, rest in peace. Travel with the ancestors. Asheo, Asheo, Asheo.